Yeah.
All the rest of his probes away. Very good splitting, very good crisis management while maintaining the ability to continue harassing. INnoVation also really impressing me as well with how much he was able to do with that very small Widowmine count, constantly saving them, sending them back in, rallying them from the factory even.
Yeah.
He was really on point. His multitasking was out of control at certain points in
You
that
could
game.
tell, like, even though both of these players were in, like, a very stressful situation like that where they have to micro both things at the same time, like both sides of the bases, they were still, like, keeping their cool. Both these players just very, experienced in that sense and just very good at not freaking out and not losing, like, 10 probes to a Widowmine, which could have just, like, ended the game in the opposite direction.
It's so difficult, actually, to handle this, too, when your primary form of detection is a unit that you're using to harass, which you've already depleted the energy from. He had a second one, which then he maintained its health and longevity, sent it back to clear up the Widowmines, then again used it for an attack, and when he didn't have detection, then he was already getting an observer, and he knew, okay, I don't need to panic and send my oracles back, just split my probes. I can lose a probe here and a probe there one by one at a time, as long as I'm really on point about making sure they're split, making sure they're set up the right way, and then I can continue to use these 2 oracles for the attack, which he basically just threw away into the attack, I think, because he thought he was going to win the game off of it.
Yeah.
But they definitely pulled their weight in that fight.
That he did. Well, guys, we're going to jump into game number 5 here. Both of these best of 5s going to game number 5. This is another great day, and this is going to be on King's Haven Station. And I know a lot of people are handing this to INnoVation off the get-go, even myself, but Stats is making it interesting.
He certainly is. And I guess this is just vengeance for Pro League ending so early yesterday. You guys, not vengeance, I guess I should say, but making it fair for the fans. You get to watch some great long series today. All right, everybody, Sejong, the final map of this series. Let's find out who's moving on to the round of 16.
Down here in the bottom right in the red, he's making a comeback. It is Stats.
And his opponent. Oh, there's a bit of a late camera there. Thought we were skipping him. There he is. He's been looking stressed out this whole series, but keeps his cool.
Yeah.
His opponent to the top left in blue. It's INnoVation for SK Telecom. Normally Acer. Just recently making the switch to SK. This is a map where we see proxies a lot in basically every matchup. Including the matchups with Zerg. Like if it's Terran, you see oftentimes 2 barracks proxies against Zerg even. I guess the only one you don't see proxies in really is PVZ, unless you see a proxy hatch or something. But I feel like one of these 2 players is going to do something aggressive. Looks like INnoVation is not going to go gas first, so I don't think it's going to be him. But Stats has been shown already. He loves his proxies. He loves playing cheesy today. And I think he's probably going to do something again on this map. It would be the ultimate trickery if he just played the most straight-up game he's played all day.
Yeah. But again, after doing something tricky and shady 4 times in a row, maybe you just do it again because your opponent thinks that you won't in the 5th game. I don't know. It's really a big mind game, which for INnoVation, it's kind of hard to handle.
Yeah, for sure. I feel like INnoVation's one weakness is that his play is predictable. He either does a drop or he does that SCV pull, and his pressure play is kind of the same in between that. You know that to beat him, you beat one of those 2 things. You're never going to have to beat him in the late game. He's never going to like take a 3rd CC and go for some sort of economic style. And the way I'm describing INnoVation's play is very standard TVP. But INnoVation just really, when you just kind of get this feel of, okay, it's time. I've already figured out what he's going to do without even really checking. I just know this is INnoVation. He played a normal opening. He pressured me a little bit. He's just going to pull the SCVs. If I can just mathematically figure out how to defend that, if I can get my Colossus count up enough, or I can get Storm out in time because it's one of those later pushes, then I'm going to be fine. So, INnoVation, one of the best players in the world. In fact, in my opinion, the best player at doing those SCV pulls. But
definitely one of the best. And INnoVation not able to get the block there on the Nexus, actually. Just wanted to go into the main first, get the scout on, and go for that. But the Reaper will come in from the right side up that cliff. Or not.
No.
Comes back for now.
Ends at home, actually.
Yeah.
Perhaps want to be a little bit safer. Interesting choice.
Maybe just wants to deny some scouting. Yeah, it's just on patrol there at the bottom of the ramp.
It's not like he has anything to hide, but I'm going to give him a little bit of extra safety. And, yeah, scout denial. Well, double barracks going up, so that's something you might want to keep hidden. There's a heavy Marine production this time to pressure early, something I like to see. I think INnoVation is very good at this as well, and that's often the sort of tempo that he needs to get ahead, is to just get over there, get some pressure done, slow his opponent's build ever so slightly, and that's the edge that he needs to hit that really aggressive timing with the SCV pull. Let's see what this Robo is for, because it's in a kind of sneaky spot. We could see Immortals coming out again.
We definitely could. He even, I don't know if INnoVation noticed, because he didn't scout the whole base, but he even put his second pylon once again in like a strange spot where he was kind of hiding it, maybe trying to just throw INnoVation off here. But regardless, INnoVation didn't quite notice it. But this time he gets a full scout of the base. Did he actually see that Robo? Now he does.
Yep, he saw it. And that was actually barely seen. I'm actually glad you pointed out that second pylon placement, too. This is Stats, again, just trying to be tricky. But it's an Observer coming out. And it is going to be, really, the first super standard opening that we've seen from Stats this entire series. Just probably going to add a Forge soon. Going to take a third base slowly and safely. Well, oh, never mind. Immortal on the way. It could still be something a little bit more aggressive.
Yeah. He's sending that probe out as well to put down a pylon somewhere over towards the left side of the map. You know, once he added those two gateways, instead of just going to, like, rushed Colossi, which we do see a lot as well, definitely looking to put on the pressure here. Observer is going to see everything.
Let's see if he makes second Immortal right away, immediately. He
Gets
is.
Chrono Booster right away. There we go.
Yeah, it was supply blocked. I think this might end up being the same build that we saw. Was it on game 2? Whichever game it was where he did the fake attack and took a third base.
I think it was game 1, actually.
Oh, was that? Yeah, the very first
Merry-go-round?
game.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think we're going to see something like that. I don't think he's going to commit to this. This time also, INnoVation doesn't scout the Immortals popping out, so he doesn't make bunkers. He doesn't know about this yet. He's actually moving Marines in the main base. He's not really sure what he's up against.
Yeah. He's had a hard time. I mean, he did see the Robo, but at this moment, maybe, you know, he's thinking about this Warp Prism kind of harass thing. He's just trying to spread out and defend for right now.
One bunker at the front, just for some, you know, fair amount of safety. Now moving the Marines down to the natural. As a timing window has passed for, you know, a normal quick Warp Prism drop, or obviously Oracles, definitely out of the question at this point. He has nothing to spot these rocks, though. Nothing at all. Okay, he's going to go check.
There
he reacts immediately as soon as he sees those are going down. Those bunkers might not finish in time, actually. A Dark Shrine is going up, as well as that Bay. It's looking very similar to that first game.
That it is.
He's canceled. He's pulling out. He's pulling out of here.
Yeah,
Fake
he's
Immortal.
not messing around.
He's going to kill the supply depot easily on the high ground of the ramp. He's going to damage the CC. He's going to kill the refinery. And no INnoVation on the back foot here now on total defensive mode. Missed the force fields. Had to use it twice. Surprised he doesn't pick off that depot, actually. But I think for INnoVation at this point is like, oh, I think this is actually, he's not actually continuing to warp in units.
Yeah.
And Stats feels...
Same thing once again.
Yeah, and Stats feels the same of how much damage you've done. It's like, well, you pulled all the way out of there. I don't need to do anything else with this. Third base is already on the way. And that Warp Prism, this time will it get picked off?
That's the question. I feel like what I was about to say was like the one difference in this game is that it didn't get picked off just yet. And that Dark Shrine is about to be finished here. He's got 3 Zealots in the Warp Prism going into the main just now.
Yep. And with this, you can see there's no turret. Actually just go into phase mode and warp in DTs. We might just see that. He might go into phase mode outside the base and come over with a second drop of DTs. He's killing a lot of Marines with this. He's keeping the pressure away from his third base. He's keeping it totally off his back here.
Yeah. This is like game number 1 working out for Stats so far.
This is how it's supposed to work. DTs get split here. No turret. He's not expecting this. He doesn't even use the Warp Prism to drop it. And INnoVation is now going to have to scan twice. He's going to have to keep his army back at home again. All this time, third base goes up for Stats, and he's getting a ton of kills. And 2 scans, that's less mules as well. It's all win-win here for Stats. He's clawing his way back into the series.
That he is. One thing Stats wants to do here is deny that third, though. Because if the Terran can get that third base up and kind of sustain and not take too many more SCV kills, he can survive off of three orbitals, get back in.
Yeah, and actually forces a cancel on it. Valdez, he gets it. Look at that.
Oh, wow.
He got it with that Warp Prism. The Warp Prism in a perfect spot because he knows. He knows that's where INnoVation's going to put it. He already saw there was no CC made. He knew it was going to go up soon. If he snipes this again with another drop, is he going to do it? I think he's going to do it. We're not seeing it getting a shot of it. There's no scan. Is he going to hit this? Is he going to actually force another cancel on this? Oh, he decides not to go for it and walks right into a turret. So never mind, but still he delays it.
That he does, which is also very important, you know? The slower that Terran gets up that third CC, the more time that the Protoss does have here. So again, back at the Protoss' base, he's getting up his Colossi. He's getting those 2 Forges down as well. And he's just in an incredible position right now.
Yeah, upgrades one way that he is significantly behind. Not hugely behind, because with Chrono Boost, he should be able to actually pretty much even up the 1-1, but he's missing that attack upgrade that INnoVation does have. INnoVation is moving across the map with a large army that has some Widowmine support. Well, there are 3 Colossi out, and there are only 7 Mirage on the map. This is basically a pure Marine force. And, I mean, look at this spread of the Colossi already. Full energy on 3 sentries.
Yeah, this is INnoVation just testing the waters. He's saying, like, okay, what do you have? I don't think he... I think he knows that he can't really do damage, especially at the front. Maybe just check what he has, drop in some Widowmines, try to get some damage down.
Stats doesn't mess up with his micro against the Widowmines, except in the game where he sent all of his probes back in the 1 at the very end.
Yeah, well,
But, you know, I'll give him that. I mean, INnoVation is, again, stuck in this feedback loop where he's like, well, what do I do? I don't have a third base. He does. I can't attack him. I don't have Vikings. I'm making 4 Vikings at a time. But by the time he's going to do his same SCV pull that we saw earlier, Storm is going to be ready. Storm's going to be ready. 1-1 upgrades are going to be ready. He's going to have a ton of gateways powered up, as you guys can see here. Adding extra pylons for safety, because, you know, what Artosis always says, make sure you keep your gates powered.
I believe he has said that at one point.
Yeah, I think so.
But again, what do you do in this position? Do you do the INnoVation thing and just try to go for it? He got crushed when he got far behind on Overgrowth and he tried to do it. Do you just try to take this late game? It's not his comfort zone, but as of yet, if he does try to go for the kill here, I highly doubt that it would work.
Good angle of attack. The Vikings are in a place where they can snipe that Mothership core, and that whole Gateway army is bunched up. The Stalkers were out of position. This is a very good angle of attack here for INnoVation, and he's going to try to make this work. Gets another Colossus. Gets even one more. INnoVation is trying to push his way through here. He's going to get that last Colossus. Storm is done, but he eliminated half of the AoE damage with very minimal losses. A very well-executed attack, and now he's going to try to finish it up. Vikings at the front to tank. SCVs with his pusher at the back, though.
Just lay down some force fields here. You can buy yourself so much time. If the Terran wants to come in through this angle, he can't. He has to go around.
4 High Templar on the map as well. Several of those with storms and stats. Just chrono boosting out that charge. Getting that +2 armor right now. Mothership core, of course, went down during that fight, so that's one thing he's missing. But a few storms here should buy a lot of time. It's going to be tough for INnoVation to actually commit to an engagement.
Yeah, Sejong station a map where they have so many ramps like this that you can just force field. It's so easy for the Protoss to just wait and bide its time.
Just every second that goes by here is terrible for INnoVation.
Look at this. INnoVation cannot go down that ramp. And if he tries to, he's just going to get cut off like this over and over and over again and take unfavorable trades.
All right, here come the storms. First one is down. Charge is done as well. He's just going to storm on top of that army. If it runs away, so what? That's more time bought.
Well, not the best storms here, actually hitting a lot of his zealots. And he's got a lot of army left over. Actually, the Vikings in the back even helping out a lot here. And he may have run out of energy here on his sentries.
Well, he's got a few more storms left, and zealots are coming in here to harass.
Yeah. Oh, there's some good storms. Oh, man. And even a very aggressive blink forward here.
Well, stats figured INnoVation out in this series, man.
That's what it looks like, man.
All she wrote. Really good build order by Stats.
Stats takes a huge sigh of relief there.
Game's
saying,
over.
okay, he's got it. Blink forward, picks off a medevac now, and INnoVation cannot believe it.
He's going to have to face the facts sooner or later. Stats is moving on to the round of 16. Look at his face. Look how happy he is. He's done it. He wants a Mana Nexus over here, but going to kill these mules first and force the the command center to build.
And this is my base now. Get out of here, INnoVation.
Immortal tanking some shots here as the Stalkers come in, pick off another medevac. INnoVation is in shock, man.
Yeah.
He broke the program.
Error. What can I do? Doesn't look like much.
He just has to type out. That's all he could do. Oh, he's going to type in Korean, uppercase or lowercase. There's a choice. He's going to make these scans here to see how long this base has been mining at the third.
Yeah.
Clicks on those mineral patches. Stats is just like, get out! I'm going to spell my name.
He's just laying down pylons everywhere, man. INnoVation just still can't believe it. GG.
GG.
Huge upset here. Stats able to take out INnoVation. One of the favorites you were saying before even could possibly win this tournament.
And not only does he win in a matchup that most people are saying is unfavorable for him, most people are saying INnoVation is highly favored.
Yeah. He's
able to win coming back after a deficit, which is so rare, so unusual.
I gotta wonder what his coach said when he went into that booth, because I remember it's him looking at Stats and saying, okay, you got to do this and this and this, and Stats just kind of, I don't know, I guess the coach gave him some really good advice, because like we were saying before, he had INnoVation figured out by the end of that match. He played that build at the game 5 just so much better than he did in the game before it in game 1, and just kind of took away INnoVation's option of doing that kind of boys push that he loves to do.
All right, we're going to hear from Stats here now. Congratulations.
김대엽 선수에게는 오늘이 크리스마스인 것 같아요. 개인 리그에서 이신영 선수를 상대로 승리를
It's Christmas today for you. How do you feel? What's your mood like?
신영이 걸린 거 보고 전 되게 떨어질 것만 같았고 되게 힘들겠구나 생각을 많이 했었어요. 그래서
I thought I was actually going to get knocked out when I found out that INnoVation was my first opponent.
그래서 그렇기 때문에 이런 좋은 결과 나왔던 것 같아요.
So I was able to prepare really hard and produce good results.
네.
개인 리그에서의 부진 이유가 뭘까요?
제가 처음에 좀 잔실수를 좀 많이 하고
Why do you think you weren't doing well in individual leagues?
개인 리그 때는 좀 이상하게 또 운도 많이 안 따라줬던 게
I make a lot of small mistakes here and there in the early game in individual leagues.
그런데 오늘은 환작의 진수를
And I've actually been pretty unlucky when it comes to individual leagues. Although this guy did win the WECG qualifier for Korea. Not a real individual league tournament, but something like that.
머릿속으로 계속 좀 생각을 하고 있었어요. 신영이 같은 이렇게 좀 되게 잘하는 선수는 일방적으로 가서는 못 이긴다는 이런 생각을 가지고 있어가지고 한짝이를 이렇게 잘 짜와서
You can't play an ordinary match against a great player like INnoVation.
이렇게 이기게 된 것 같아요. 그래서.
So he planned some special tactics for today,
굉장히 많아요. 김대엽 선수를
and it worked out for him in the last few sets.
That was a very well played series. This is actually take a note from this, take a lesson from this, how to play a best of 5 against someone who's favored against you.
3세트 시작하기 전에 문득 이런 생각을 했어요. 아 이렇게 3대 0으로 져버리면은 감독님 코치님.
So he says that he was actually feeling like if he lost 3-0, like he couldn't face his coach after that. That's how he was feeling after game 2.
그건 아닌 것 같아서 정말 열심히 했는데 이렇게 좋은 결과로.
So he's been preparing really hard for his fans, and didn't want the fans to see him lose like that. So he's really happy that he produced a result like this. And give his fans a Christmas present, he says. Crowd gives him a cheer. Well, a very Merry Christmas Eve for Stats, who was able to dismantle his opponent. And when a plan comes together, man, it's beautiful. Get to see that DT build, what happens when the Warp Prism doesn't die.
It just some special tactics, man.
It just looked like a flawless plan. Like he didn't get it to work the first time, but the second time we got to see what it's supposed to look like. Well, guys, before we go into our final Protoss versus Pros, our final best of 5 of the night, we are going to have a 7-minute break. We'll be right back.